All right, here is the video on applying circumference. So first, let's talk about the circumference formulas. There are two of them. One of them is circumference equals 2 times pi times radius, or circumference equals pi times diameter. We are going to use the second one because the reason that both of the formulas work is that 2 times radius equals diameter. And if you know that, you don't have to memorize both circumference formulas. You can just straight go to the pi times diameter and just always find diameter. So if we know that 2 of the radiuses is always going to be diameter, so that's always going to be the first thing that we find. So for this first example, we are going to first have to find the diameter, so all the way across the circle. So we have to multiply, so D equals 4.5 times 2, which is 9. So I know my diameter is 9 meters. So then I just use my circumference formula. So circumference equals diameter times pi, or 9 times 3.14, which is 28.3, because we're rounding to the nearest 10. So I got 28.26, but I rounded to the nearest 10 meters. Okay, for example 2, I'm going to do the same thing. I first have to find my diameter, so I have to find all the way across the circle. So I do 5 times 2, which is 10. And then I'm going to do circumference equals diameter times pi. Circumference equals 10 times 3.14, which is 31.4 centimeters. Example 3, same thing. I got to find my diameter. Let's run off a little bit. So I do diameter equals 14 times 2. It's 28. So then I'm going to do C equals diameter. I write the formula down each time to help me remember it. So C equals 28 times 3.14. Which is 87.9, because I'm rounding to the nearest 10 inches. Problem 4, I already have the diameter, so diameter equals 30.2, so I don't need to find it. So I just do C equals diameter times pi. So C equals 30.2 times 3.14. So I get 94.8. So. All right. So the next example says, here are some pictures of circular objects with measurement tools shown. The measurement tool on each picture reads as follows. The wagon wheel is 3 feet. The plane propeller is 24 inches. The sliced orange is 20 centimeters. For each picture, which measurement is shown? So the wheel, I was given the diameter. The propeller, it's halfway across, that's the radius. And the orange is going around, it's the circumference. All right, based on this information, what measurement could you estimate for each picture? So basically in the wheel, I know the diameter, so I can use that to find the radius and circumference. So for the propeller, I have the radius, I can find the diameter and also the circumference. The orange, I have the circumference, since I have it, I can find the diameter or the radius. I can find both. Okay, so now we're actually going to do that. So in the previous activity, we looked at pictures. One measurement for each object is listed in the table, and we want to fill in the whole table. And here's how the table works. So in order to go forward through the table, if I have the radius, To get the diameter, I multiply by 2. I have the diameter and I want the circumference, I multiply by 3.14. If I have to go the other direction, okay, so to go from circumference to diameter, I divide by 3.14. To go from diameter to radius, I divide by 2. So the wagon wheel, to find the radius, I do 3 divided by 2, which is 1.5 feet. To get the circumference, I do 3 times 3.14, and I get 9.42 feet. So it's all about multiplying and dividing because it's a proportional relationship. All right, so for the airplane propeller, I do 24 times 2, which gives me 48 inches. To find circumference, I do 48 times 3.14. Which is 150.72. All right, to go backwards, if I have the circumference, I divide. So I'm going to do 20 divided by 3.14, which is around 6.4. And then I do 6.4 divided by 2, which is around 3.2. So it's all either multiplying by 2, multiplying by 3.4, dividing by 3.4, or dividing by 2. Okay, in this next example, a bug was sitting on the tip of a wind turbine blade that was 24 inches long when it started to rotate. The bug held on for 5 rotations before flying away. How far did the bug travel before it flew off? So this little applet is going to kind of show us how the bug flew. So the number of revolutions would be 5. We want to make that 5. And then we want to see how it's going around. So the bug goes around, that's 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and then 5 times. All right. So each time the bug is going around, it's making 1 circle. So we want to know how long it takes to go around once. And it told us 1 propeller was 24. So that's going to actually be our radius. So when we go back to do our problem, our radius is going to be 24. I double that to find my diameter, which is 48 inches. I use my formula, circumference equals diameter times pi. I get circumference equals 48 times 3.14. Which is 150.72 inches. That's 1 time around my circle. But the bug goes around 5 times. So I then have to do 150.72 times 5. Which gives 753.6 inches. That's the distance around. That's my final answer. All right. The next one says the field inside a running track is made up of a rectangle that is 84.39 meters long and 73 meters wide, together with the half circle at each end. The first part says, what is the distance around the inside of the track? So I have to find the distance going around the inside. So the first thing I have to do is I know that this is 84.39, and so is this because it's a rectangle. Then if I put 2 of these together, it makes 1 circle with a diameter of 73. So I can actually find the circumference of just the circle and then add on my missing pieces. So I'm going to do 73 times 3.14 plus 84.39 plus 84.39, because that's the half circle together, so make a whole circle, and those are the two straight edges. So I do 73 times 3.14 plus 84.39 plus 84.39. I get 398 meters. All right, the track is 9.76 meters wide all the way around. What is the distance around the outside of the track? All right, so this time I'm finding the distance around this part of the track. So I still have this part from here to here. That is my 84.39. So I'm still going to add 84.39 twice. But my circle is a different size. So on either side of my diameter, I added 9.76. So I'm going to do 73 plus 9.76 twice. And that's going to be my new diameter. So 92.52. So this time, instead of using the 73, I do 92.52 times 3.14. So I get about 459.29 meters. Okay, my last example. Kieran bent some wire around a rectangle to make a picture frame. The rectangle is 8 inches by 10. So that means that this part is 8 and this part is 10. Find the perimeter of the wire picture frame. Explain or show your reasons. So we want to find the perimeter of the wires that go all the way around. So basically the circumference added all together. So first I have to find the diameter. So I want to know how many diameters I have across. So I have 1 full diameter, 2, 3, and 2 halves, which makes 4. So if I do 8 divided by 2, I get, or 8 divided by 4, is 2. So I get that the diameters are each equal to 2. So the next thing that I have to do is I have to figure out how many circles I have. All right, so because I have to find the circumference of one circle and multiply by how many I have. So I'm going to do it by halves. So that this is a half, 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 half. And then these are actually 3/4. So I have 4 3/4, which is 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4. Which is 6, 12, 12/4, which equals 3. So I have 3 full circles, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 halves, or 7. So plus 7. So I have 10 total around. So I'm going to find one circle by doing the diameter is 2. So I'm going to do 2 times 3.14. And then I'm going to multiply that by 10 because there's 10 full circles. So it's 62.8. And it's inches.